All right, so good evening, everybody. It's a lovely Tuesday, and I am back here sharing again my views on different investment products and just about working in the unit trust industry and how it feels and what it is all about. So, thank you very much for joining me again, and a special thank you for those of you who actually messaged me right after my other video. It got quite a bit of a reaction where I talked about employment versus entrepreneurship, and thank you for confiding in me in your uh, business goals or your entrepreneurship choices or your aspirations and things like that. I am very humbled that you can actually choose to pick up and just ask me for these views. And thank you very much. Two people, you know who you are, but it's really humbling to know that you've come up to me and trust me in giving you some advice, which I don't even know if it's legit, but at least at least we get somewhere with that. Okay. So that being that, the topic of today is real estate. Let's talk about real estate now. First thing first, we have to acknowledge that real estate is a very powerful investment tool. It can make you a lot of money, but it comes with a set of challenges. Okay, I won't say problems, it comes with challenges. Okay, and it's difficult challenges, it's hard challenges for me at least. Okay, and let's go through them one by one. Okay, so what would be the first challenge of owning a real estate? Okay, the first thing first is you gotta have like a huge sum of money before you can even buy a place. So let's just talk about a simple 1 million ringgit double story terrace house somewhere in a decent neighborhood in PJ or Subang or something like that. Okay. What would you need to actually own a place like that? You would at least need 100,000 ringgit as a down, 10% deposit. On top of that, you would need your another 5% on that would be your legal fees and your bank fees and all that. So you basically need 150,000 ringgit before you can purchase a 1 million ringgit property. Okay, so now that's a big sum. All right, I'm not saying don't do it, but you have to know what's ahead of you. Okay, so that's a big sum. So this is where people fall. So those who don't have deep pockets, you end up not investing in real estate because you just can't seem to afford it. Let leave trying to invest in a property as an investment. Some can't even afford a home. So that's a real challenge out there. Okay, so that's the first thing first. You need deep pockets to jump into real estate investment. What's the second thing? You need a very strong cash flow because at this point of time, your rental and your bank repayments, there's a huge gap with that. You can't it's not like back in the day 10-20 years ago where your rental you can just collect it and pay your bank loan, and like at the end of 20 years you've got a free house. It's not the case anymore. There's a huge gap, and you don't have if you can't afford that monthly cash flow, you're in trouble. Okay, so now third is your maintenance of the property. All right, so I mean, if you get a bad tenant, that's it. You're lost for the month. What if your tenant doesn't pay? What if if your unit is empty, your home is empty for 3 months, 4 months? All that cost, that doubles up on your cash flow. It stretches your cash flow even further. Now, these are not this is not things to discourage you. Like I've mentioned it to you, real estate, it's an exceptional tool. Okay, I have a home and that's all I have, but I do wish that I can invest in different products, which is probably a shop lot. I don't know, just because we own a dental clinic, and maybe in the future I can own my own shop lot. That would be nice, but at this point of time I don't think I can afford it because, let's just be real, I would need at least 350,000, 400,000 cash. Oh no, hold on, more, because commercial properties are 30% down payment. So I would at least need 1 million ringgit cash before I can even think of buying a commercial property. Now, big disclaimer: I don't have the kind of money. I am not a millionaire. I am just a normal Joe, chilling and trying to make things work for me. At the same time, trying to share some things that work for me. Trying to share what they are with you so that it hopefully it works for you as well. Okay, so that being that, that's my my perception of the challenges of real estate. I'm sure there's plenty more out there. And then, of course, there's huge good points, and some other experts might know different strategies of how to leverage on this. But let's talk about a different, how do I say, a perspective of real estate investment. So so now, Arvind, like you've told us, like, I can't afford real estate. Now what do I do? It is a great investment tool. So let me share with you a alternative. Okay, so the alternative of actual physical real estate is you can actually start investing in real estate investment trust instead. Okay, so what they do is they do exactly the same as real estate. They give you the same returns, the incomes are the same, you get rentals, you get capital appreciation. So all of this are the great plus points of the real estate investment. And the greater part of this is that you don't need to stretch yourself into you don't need to have big pockets for this. You just need to have a consistent small amount. It can be as simple as 100 ringgit a month for you to start this investment, and then percentage wise gain the same amount of gain same more returns. Okay, so let's look into real estate investment trust. Okay, so what I have, and I actually invest about 25% of my clients' portfolio into this, which means me alone, about 500,000 ringgit lah, of people's cash that's invested in real estate investment trust. So let me share about the real estate investment trust that I want to talk to you about. So basically, the trust is an Asia Pacific real estate investment trust, which invests in 3 different countries. Majority of these countries, at least, the majority of the fund is invested in these 3 countries, being Singapore, Hong Kong, and Australia. Okay, so what happens here is when you invest $100 or $1,000 or $10,000, whatever sum you want to invest in this fund, what happens is you start having ownership of the buildings that this fund invest in, and the returns, the rental returns that come from these buildings, they are sent back to you as an investor, and the capital gains that come along with these buildings are also sent back to you. So that is pretty much exactly like your real estate investment, but at a more affordable rate. Okay. And so that is basically what real estate investment trust, what they do. Okay. Now, of course, there are plenty of real estate investment trusts out there. Which one is good for you? You got to ask. Okay, so I can't recommend products. Okay, but I can just talk about the products that I hold. Basically, the real estate investment trust, Asia Pacific Real Estate Investment Trust under Manulife, has done rather well. Okay, with this COVID drop, the last 13 years is making about 7.35% per annum. Really good. But if you eliminate the COVID drop, it makes about 10 odd percent. Let's just say 10% per annum. That's a huge number. Okay. Yeah. So again, it is a long-term thing, similar to your real estate investment, physical real estate investment. It is, both of these products are long-term products, they're medium risk products, and both of them would give you an approximate 10-12% returns per annum if you're lucky. And if similarly to the real estate, physical real estate investments, if you buy in a good location, you get a better return. You buy in a not so good location, you get a poorer return. But one thing is like guaranteed is if you wait long enough, you will be able to reap your rewards. Now, the struggle for many is the waiting period. Can you hold? So now, if you don't have deep pockets, real estate investment trust would be your option. That would be something that you can afford, and that's something that you should start looking at. Okay. So just very briefly, another quick slide I'd like to share with you is so Arun, what do this real estate investment trust, what do they invest in? So let me just quickly share with you what they do. So basically, right, they invest in supermarket, retail lots, office lots, things that like me and you would find it rather hard to invest by yourself. So how many of you guys have a retail mall under your name? That's it. But if you invest in a real estate investment fund, if you invest enough, you could go to, say, KLCC and stand on this tile and like, oh, look, I own this portion of the tile. But don't go and say that to the security guard because they'll probably kick you out. Okay, but that's it. You don't own physical property, but you actually own a part of whatever retail, whatever mall that they own. So that's it. That's putting things into perspective. Okay. So with Singapore and Hong Kong, the majority of the investment is into retail funds, retail shopping malls, supermarkets, and stuff like that. And then with Australia, it is invested mainly into like office lots, grade A office lots. The more exciting thing about this in Sydney is like the grade A office lots in Sydney. They've actually stopped building those. So the supply for it is less, but the demand for it is still there. So that being that, I do like this REIT funds very, very much. It's not as risky as equity, though it is still volatile. But yeah, it's something that I would recommend because very great, very strong history, very strong income distributions, and huge potential if you buy now because markets have dropped due to COVID. And yes, last point, you could do this with your EPF withdrawals, you could do this with your cash investment, and you can also do it as your PRS investment. So you can actually own REIT funds, you can actually own real estate by any one of these means. Okay, so again, EPF investments, cash funds, or your PRS funds. Okay, so that's all for today. And if you do have any questions about real estate investment trusts or alternate real estate ideas, or you just want to talk about real estate in general, I can try to help you out and see where we go from there. Don't be afraid to get in touch. I always look forward for someone to get in touch with me at the end of my videos. It just feels satisfying, you know. You just know that like you've actually reached out to someone and you're helping someone. Okay, so that being that, I'll call it a night. I guess I'll call this the end of the session. And good night, everyone. Have a great day.